Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to, really get into the currents of knowledge, bring you things you won't just find scrolling headlines. And today, we're going somewhere pretty unexpected, I think. We're exploring a symbol many of us probably just take for granted, the cow. Now, you might think, okay, India, reverence, ancient myth, maybe a cultural thing. But the sources we've been looking at, they suggest something, well, much deeper. An ontological reality. It's not just belief, it's somehow fundamental.
That's exactly it. Our mission today, if you like, is to unpack this. The cow's significance across language, religion, human history. It's surprisingly profound. We're drawing on quite a few different sources, including this really intriguing theory called Odum Tilly, human language.
Right. And by the time we're done here, you, the listener, should have a totally new perspective on some questions, like what does the cow really symbolize in, say, Sanskrit and Indian thought, and why on earth is the longest surah in the Quran named al-Baqara the cow? That's always struck me as fascinating. And how does all this tie back to a theory about the biological roots of language and religion itself? Okay, let's unpack this. So first off, let's challenge that idea of the cow just being, an animal. The research we've explored really pushes this idea that it's a symbol deeply embedded in our oral memory, our biology, even our semantics. It kind of transcends categories.
It really does. Take Sanskrit. You have the term Go-mata.
Go-mata.
Go means cow, mata means mother. But it's not just, a cow is like a mother.
Yeah.
It's much more resonant, a semantic archetype.
Archetype, okay. How so?
Well, think about it simply first. The cow gives milk, life-sustaining milk. It literally saves infants from hunger. That's a powerful image. Then there's its nature, calm, meek, its attachment to humans. It aligns very naturally with that mother figure idea.
Okay, that makes sense.
And in Dharma philosophy, it goes even deeper. It comes to symbolize ahimsa, nonviolence.
Right, ahimsa.
And even cosmic order itself. So it's way beyond just a food source. It's this living emblem of patience, vitality, sacrifice.
From that deep spiritual context in Sanskrit, we find this echo, like you said, in the Quran, which is, still quite striking. The longest chapter, al-Baqara, the cow. Why? Why give an animal that much prominence in such a foundational text? What's the insight there?
It's a great question. And the Sutra itself tells a story involving a specific cow. It becomes a sacrificial animal. And through this sacrifice, truth is revealed, specifically in the context of solving a murder mystery, a search for justice.
A sacrifice revealing truth.
Exactly. Okay.
But the interpretations, they go deeper than just the plot. It becomes an examination of faith itself, of patience, of absolute trust in God's commands, even if they seem, strange or illogical from a purely human standpoint. There's actually a key passage, Quran 2.6771, where the people question the command, asking Moses, basically, are you mocking us? And that challenges doubt. Rationalistic doubt is framed as maybe a form of spiritual resistance, a lack of real submission. So the cow here, in this context, is this powerful symbol of truth that's found through sacrifice and obedience, not just, human reason. And the suit itself is huge, right? It covers so much more.
Oh, absolutely. It's foundational for Islamist law, for the early community. It deals with all sorts of social, legal, ethical issues, and all under this title, the cow. It really underscores how central that symbol became.
So these ancient layers of meaning, India, Islam, they hint at something maybe even more fundamental underneath. And this is where that theory you mentioned comes in. Dr. Mahmuджона Kучкаров's Odum Tilly, human language.
Exactly. This is where it gets really interesting, I think. Odum Tilly offers a pretty radical perspective. It basically posits that language isn't just abstract symbols. It originates fundamentally from the body, from breath, from sound itself.
Okay, language from the body. How does that connect to the cow?
Well, according to this theory, phonetic traces, like the sounds go, ma, and ta, aren't arbitrary. They're tied to primordial biological experiences. So go. It isn't just a cow. Odum Tilly suggests it's a primal sound linked to any creature with a lowered head, a non-vertical posture relative to us. It's an observation about the world encoded in sound.
Like how we might perceive animals?
Sort of. Then ma, that sound is proposed to carry the essence of giving, offering. Think mother, mammary, milk. That kind of giving concept.
Okay, I see the connection there.
And ta, that sound represents body, place, or verticality, like tree. Or in Tajik, the word tan means body.
So Go-mata, cow mother, isn't just a metaphor in this view.
Precisely. It's described as a biologically civilized phonetic code, a primal sound pattern, almost hardwired, echoing across different languages and cultures, stemming from this bodily experience.
Wow, that's a big idea. Language itself is a kind of voiced body.
That's the core of it.
Now, it's one thing to talk about ancient symbols and, phonetic theories, but it can sound mythical, poetic, maybe. But the research you mentioned earlier insists the Go-mata image isn't just legend. How do we, or how does the listener, bridge that gap? What's the hard evidence that this is rooted in fact?
That's the crucial question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the answer lies in documented history, not just theory. We have actual concrete examples from India, Persia, Central Asia, the Caucasus. Accounts of children, infants, who lost their mothers.
Right.
And they survived because they were given cow's milk directly.
Okay, historical anecdotes.
But it's backed by biology, too. The biochemical facts are compelling. Cow's milk has essential antigens, lactose. It maintains a thermal balance that's actually beneficial for human infants.
So it physically worked as a substitute?
Yes, in times of famine, war, extreme scarcity. When human mothers literally couldn't provide, cows stepped in. They were surrogate mothers in a very real biological sense. This wasn't just, a one-off story. It was a recurring reality for survival. And that experience, the sources argue, got deeply embedded in the collective memory. Collective unconscious, even.
So the reverence isn't irrational belief.
It's proposed as a historical memory, a memory of biological salvation. That's the argument.
That really does reframe things from, like you said, a quaint symbol to a documented lifeline. And connecting this to the bigger picture, it leads to this quite provocative idea about the monogenesis of religions, a single origin.
Well, what's striking is when you look across foundational texts, the Quran, the Vedas, the Torah, they all feature the image of a cow or a bull in significant ways. A common thread.
It strongly suggests a common archetypal origin, doesn't it? Rooted in what this Odum Tilly framework calls bodily sound experience. It loops back to that core idea, language and religion stemming from this fusion. Body sensation, breath, sound.
So Odum Tilly isn't just saying, here's a theory.
No, it presents itself as more of an empirical model. It aims to reshape how we even think about where language and religion come from. Dr. Kучkarov's assertion is pretty direct. Language is not an abstraction. It is a voiced body.
Religion is not a myth. It is an archived experience.
Exactly. That captures it. It's about experience recorded in our very way of speaking and believing. Okay, so let's try and bring this all together. What's the main takeaway here? The cow's reverence, its presence in these major texts, these ancient languages, it's not just coincidence, not arbitrary.
Not according to this perspective, no, not at all. The cow isn't being presented as an idol, in the sense of worshiping a statue. It's seen as this ancient, phonetically encoded memory, a memory of salvation, a primal trace of what provided life, sustenance, when maybe nothing else could.
That quote from Dr. Kучкарова really resonates, no?
Which one?
Words are imprints of the body. Language is a mirror of breath.
And the cow is the milk of language itself.
Oh, yes.
It's a powerful way to put it. It encapsulates that deep, almost biological connection being proposed.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? For you, the listener, maybe consider how many other symbols are out there, things we see as archaic, maybe quaint. Could they hold similar truths? Deeply practical, even biological truths, just waiting for us to look again. Through history, through linguistics, through just, human experience. Maybe there are hidden layers of meaning all around us, tied to how we survived, how we spoke, how we first made sense of the world. Something to ponder.